Hello, I'm Mark Turn from PersonalDevelopment.Training. Today in this video I'll share with you, what is an alternative to silencing your inner critic, 5 empowering strategies. No one likes criticism, but especially not when it comes from our own thoughts. This type of criticism is known as an inner critic, and they are often more devastating than any other type of critique because there is no one else to fight back against them. In this video series, we have seen many strategies to tame your inner critic. Alternative approaches to silencing your inner critic will focus on improving your ability on practices that with time will focus your attention, energy and actions towards more productive results. This empowerment strategy will restore and expand your inner resources, and this will gradually deflate your inner critic, while gradually expanding your power and possibilities. Great approaches of this kind are: 1. Develop your self-belief. Self-doubt and limiting beliefs are often the root of what causes us to hesitate or not take action at all. We worry about what other people think, or we believe that we don't deserve to have success. Sounds familiar? This is the expression of your inner critic. So self-belief is, by definition, the inner critic's greatest opponent. Learn to develop your self-belief and your inner critic can't help but withdraw. Try this useful routine to reinforce your self-belief. 1. List your strengths. 2. List your accomplishment. 3. List the greatest difficulties you overcome in the past and how you did. 4. List what you are trying to change but don't have control over. 5. Recognize that thing for which you have no control. You must accept whatever will happen, but you'll have control on how to respond to it. Try my free 5-day Believe in Yourself challenge at www.thesolution2.com/freebelief. 2. Develop your self-esteem. One way to silence the relentless critic self in your head is through developing your self-esteem so that your inner critic can't have any power over you, but realizing this takes practice. Developing your self-esteem is a good strategy against your inner critic because it helps you to avoid the trap of self-doubt by learning to accept and appreciate yourself whatever it happens. Self-esteem is the measure of how you feel about yourself and of course can be questioned by a zealous inner critic. Well, it can take some time to learn how to develop self-esteem, but the first step is being able to recognize your inner critic messages that will make you feel bad about yourself. The next step is working through anything that will come for your inner critic and that will impact your perception of your self-worth. If you notice any of these patterns in your life, try addressing them with self-compassion and self-love. A way to do this is with my healing self-esteem process to get started. Set aside 2 hours to do it. 1. List what you like of yourself. 2. List what you like of what you are doing and what you have done. 3. List what you should forgive yourself for. 4. Then forgive yourself for those things. If it seems difficult, read that item, inhale, say to yourself, I forgive myself about this, and exhale. 5. List things about yourself that you just should accept. 6. List what your inner critic is telling you that is making you feel bad about yourself. 7. List what your inner critic is telling you that make you think you are worthless. 8. List what your inner critic is telling you against this exercise. 9. List anything else your inner critic is throwing to you. 10. Scan this inner critic list, read each item, and for that item tell yourself, even if my inner critic says this, I accept, forgive and love myself. It takes some time, but it can be revealing, and is a very good way to start healing your inner self. Check also my article at www.thesolution2.com, link in the video description, to find 3 ways to raise your self-esteem when you don't believe in yourself. 3. Develop your self-confidence, despite the inner critic. Self-confidence is the ability to believe in your own abilities and strengths. When you silence your inner critic, you are no longer plagued by self-doubt and can focus on what you want to do. Self-confidence is a vital part of every person's life. It affects everything from our relationships to our performance at work. But many people struggle with self-confidence issues and never find the inner power to change how they feel. When you stop listening to your inner critic, you can focus on yourself and what you want. You will feel more confident because you are able to be your own person and do what makes you happy. Boosting self-confidence can change your life. You are not powerless. You have all the power you need within you. All you have to do is stop being so hard on yourself and start developing a positive self-image instead. I'll tell you a little secret: you are born with full self-confidence. If you aren't feeling this way right now, it's by your inner critic efforts. Overcoming your inner critic will greatly enhance your self-confidence. However, there are many ways to develop self-confidence without having to deal explicitly with it. One of the most simple and effective ways is to take a moment every day and list all the things you have accomplished. It may seem simple, but it can be very powerful in building your confidence. You might not think that you have much going for you, but if you take a moment to reflect on what you've done, you'll see that there's a lot more there than you realize. Go with my free 30-day self-confidence challenge at www.thesolution2.com/freeconfidence for an inner journey that will show you many ways to develop your inner confidence. 4. Practice mindfulness. Mindfulness is one tactic people use to address their inner critic. Through mindfulness, one can make time for themselves and take care of themselves, which can help them rebuild their inner resources and feel more confident. Living in the present time and living every moment to the fullest are ways to overcome your inner critic the mindfulness way. My preferred mindfulness exercise is this one. 1. Stand up. 2. Look around you. 3. Focus on an object around you. 4. Focus on its shape and color. 5. Walk to the object and touch it. 6. Focus on the physical sensations you feel touching the object for a couple of minutes. 7. Restart from step 2 and do this for at least 5 minutes. If any negative emotion arises while doing this, keep doing the exercise until the emotion disappears. As it comes, it will go away. Once I did this for 2 hours, yes, 2 hours, and I felt amazingly, like when you feel unstoppable, for the whole following week. Check my article at www.thesolution2.com, link in video description, on living every moment to the fullest with 7 awesome tips that will get you started the right way. 5. Go with goal setting. Often can be difficult to reach your goals, especially when you are constantly telling yourself that you'll never get there. When you start to think negatively, it can be difficult to focus on what you want to accomplish. It's important to remember that the only person who is going to be able to silence your inner critic is you, and we have seen lots of strategies to do that. One of the most effective ways is by setting goals that you can actually achieve. Creating a list of achievable goals and achieving them will rebuild your self-esteem, self-confidence and self-belief. This will gradually rebuild your power and your ability to reach greater goals. And your inner critic will fade away. Try my setting achievable goals process. 1. Create a list of goals. 2. Give a rating 1 to 10, 1 equals almost impossible, 10 very easy. 3. Take the easiest goal, the one with highest rating. 4. If the rating is at least 8, think on the first step towards this goal then. Just do it. 5. If the rating is lower than 8, break it in easier and faster to achieve goals. Or replace an outcome-based goal with a behavior-based goal. What does it mean to replace an outcome-based goal with a behavior-based goal? It is common for people to set goals that are outcome-based. These are things like I will lose 20 pounds or I will make X dollars this year. It can be helpful to change these types of goals into goal behaviors, which are the steps one needs to take to make this outcome happen. For example, I am going to go on a 10-minute run 3 times this week, or I will save an hour a week to work on a side project. Behavior-based goals are easier to achieve and will provide the person with motivation. They obviously require perseverance and discipline to keep your behavior active and create the outcomes you are aiming for. The above process will create your list of easy goals, each with its rating of easiness. Now take the easiest one, highest rating, and you already know what comes next. Just do it. Check my free 12-day goal setting challenge at PersonalDevelopment.Training/free goals for more. In my 10 ways to achieve your goals article at PersonalDevelopment.Training, link in the video description, you'll find also further tips to help you reach your goals even if your inner critic is slowing you down. In conclusion, empowering means developing your inner resources, taking responsibility for your actions, bouncing back from your mistakes, and getting out of the way even when your inner critic is against you. And the more it is against you, the more you will know that you need to empower yourself. We have seen 5 core strategies to do this, and a few very good ways to get started the easy way. Go for it and start unleashing your personal power. In the next video we'll see when should you use an inner critic to your advantage. Well, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you liked it or found it useful, I invite you to give it a thumbs up. Now, if you're ready to overcome your inner critic and get a head start towards developing your self-confidence, while learning to have more courage and set your path towards unleashing your personal power, take action now and enroll in my free 30-day self-confidence challenge. Click the link in the video description below and visit us at www.thesolution2.com/freeconfidence. See you in the next video.